Chord scales are one of the easiest ways to make it sound like you know more than you actually know on this thing. So in this video, I'm gonna teach you a chord scale in the key of E. So that's gonna be 6 chords using only 2 shapes, one of which you probably already know. Now, I'm a big fan of incorporating new tricks into your tool bag that you can get a lot of mileage out of, but don't really require a lot of extra learning. And this is definitely one of those things. So very brief theory, every key contains 7 notes, and from each of those notes, you can build a chord. That gives us 7 unique chords that fit within each key. 3 of those chords are major, 3 of those chords are minor, and 1 of those chords is diminished. The diminished chord, while really cool, is far less common than the major and minor, so we're only gonna focus on those 6 for now, but once again, 2 shapes. Now in the key, your major chords are gonna be the 1, 4, 5 chords. You might have heard this idea of 1, 4, 5 before. It's the basis of the blues, it's the basis of honestly a lot of Western music. If you know your G, C, D chords in the key of G, your 1 is G, your 4 is C, and your 5 is D. In the key of D, your 1 would be D, your 4 would be G, your 5 would be A. We're working in the key of E today, so that means your 1 is E, your 4 is A, and your 5 is B, but we're not gonna be using these other shapes. We're gonna start with your comfortable E chord right here. Okay, so if you don't already know this, very simple, it's gonna be open, 2, 2, 1, open, open. Now you have an option of how you wanna fret this. This is the common fretting, but I actually like to use this often when I'm doing these chord scales, and you're gonna see why later. But for now, we're right here at our E chord, and this shape is gonna be our major shape. Now, in order to play our 4 chord, we're gonna take a break and think about bar chords for a second. If you've learned your bar chords, you might know that you have an A right here, rooted right here on the 5th fret of the E string. That would be your A bar chord. Now, the thing that's really cool about this E chord scale is if you take this shape, lift this bar up, and just keep these fretted, that leaves you with 3 open notes, right? E, B, and E. Now, the reason that we bar when we're playing these bar chords, that we carry this nut along with us, is because those open strings don't play well with the chords that we're playing beneath them. In this case, in the key of E, those 3 open notes that are gonna be ringing behind everything that we do, those make an E power chord. That's the 1 and the 5 of E. And that E power chord works over every single chord in this key. So we just leave that droning and it sounds awesome behind. So once again, we're gonna take this E, and we're gonna slide it up this exact shape. So your frets for this are gonna be open, 7, 7, 6, open, open. You have E, A, that's your 1 and your 4. Your 5, super simple, from your A position, slide that entire shape up, 2 frets right here. So you're at open, 9, 9, 8, open, open, for a B chord. Now, if we want to get technical, this would actually be a B add 11, and this would be an A add 9. We don't care about that. As far as we're concerned, this is a B, this is an A, and this is an E. Now, I don't want you even looking at the second part of this video, even thinking about the next chord until you're comfortable on those 3 chords. So just jam on those 3 for a little bit. Let's say you have a 1, 4, 5, 4 progression. So here's what that would look like. We'd have our 1, slide up to 4, 5, 4, back to 1. So until you can slide around and get comfortable on that, don't even worry about the minor positions yet. But once you have that down, then we can look at the minor, and the change from the major and minor is super simple. So to learn the minor shape, I want to look at an E major and E minor chord in home position. So the E major is this buddy right here that we've been playing with. An E minor, I'm sure you know, probably the first chord that you learned is this with that first finger lifted off, right? So we only change 1 note to make that minor. We're gonna do the same motion with this other shape that we learned, except we can't just lift it off because we have to cover that open string for it. So we're gonna have the same position. We're gonna come up here for the 2 in the key of E. This would be F sharp minor. Okay, so we're gonna have open, 4, 4. If we had the major shape, we'd have a 3 right here, but we're doing minor, so it's gonna be 2. So we have open, 4, 4, 2, open, open, right? For our F sharp minor. And once again, the B, the E, B, and E still ringing out behind us, okay? So we have E, F sharp minor. Now, The way that you fret this is dealer's choice. You can go like this, and you can just kind of get this spread going right here. I kind of have Angus Young hands, so I like to get my pinky a little bit more involved. But if this is comfortable for you, God bless, go for it. Okay, so this is your 2. For your 3 chord or your G sharp minor, we are gonna take this whole shape up and slide it 2 frets. So we're gonna be open, 6, 6, 4, open, open for that G sharp minor. 1, 2, 3. Then remember your 4 chord. From that 3 chord, you would just go up half a step, slide these 2 fingers half a step up, 1 fret, and then go back to that same major position that we learned for A. Our 5 is major again. Now for our 6 chord, we're gonna slide up 2 frets. We're gonna be at the 11th, open, 11, 11, 9, open, open for our C sharp minor chord. And that's our 6. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna skip the 7th and head straight back up to the octave. So you might know that everything at the 12th fret resets. Your strings, E, A, D, G, B, E. These notes here at the 12th fret, E, A, D, G, B, E. This is basically 0 again. So your 13th fret equals your 1st fret. So the finger position for that E chord is exactly the same as you did up here, except you're going to treat the 12th fret like the nut. So you're going to be at open, 14, 14, 13, open, open. A little bit of a crunch, and honestly, I don't really use this position all that much because my sausage fingers don't make it very accessible, but that's where it is. So the whole thing, 1, E, 2, F sharp minor, 3, G sharp minor, 4, A, 5, B, 6, C sharp minor, all the way back home to E. So the first thing I want you to do with this chord scale is just go to Google and type in common chord progressions. And you're gonna map on any of those progressions to this chord scale. So for example, that bit that I played in the beginning of this video, that was a 1, 4, 6, 5. Okay, so what I did was I started on an E and then I just did some picking around. Then I went up to the A, the 4, did some picking around, went all the way up to the 6, went back to the 5, and actually no, I went back to the 4. I kind of added a little something just to give it more resolution and then took it back home. But you could even just simplify it. Take that 1, 4, 6, 5 and just strum through pretty basic. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 4, 6, 5, back to 1. So then go on Google, look up all kinds of different chord progressions and just see what inspires you. Play through them. But that's gonna help your brain start to link these chords with their function in this scale, right? 4, 5, 2, 3, all of these chords play a different function in the scale. So this is gonna start giving you a little bit of control over that. So that's it, you've got your E chord scales. I absolutely love this concept and I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Thanks so much for inviting me into your house today to play some music with you. I really view every person's musical journey as a sacred thing, so I'm honored to have been invited into yours. And I hope you invite me back again, but if not, thanks for hanging out today and keep this thing in your hands.